let's take a break from all this board game design business talk and get back to the most important thing. Thinking up new game ideas. One of my members, Denny, suggested the idea for today's video after he watched my video 10 new game ideas in 10 minutes, where I rolled some dice with random images on them and then gave myself 1 minute to come up with an idea based on what I rolled. Denny suggested I do the same thing but with a random title generator, and that's what we're going to try today. I found a random title generator and I'll link to it in the description if you want to try it out as well. I tried it out a few times yesterday and it came up with some really cool titles, so I'm excited to see what it gives us today. I'll give myself 1 minute to come up with a game idea based off a random title. If you want to play along, just pause the video after we get the title and set a timer for 1 minute for yourself. So let's get right into it. So this title generator spits out 6 different random titles, so I'm going to roll a die to choose which one we're going to use. 5. The Captive of the Dream. Setting a timer for 1 minute. Let's go. Okay, so this is a lot more difficult than rolling dice. I might have to give myself a mechanic as well as the title. We're changing it up. I'm going to give myself a mechanic because right now it is just too open. Sometimes it's interesting. If you don't have any restrictions, it can actually be harder. So I'm going to give myself more restrictions. I'm going to give myself a title, but also a mechanic. And I think that will give me more to work off of. I'm going to spin my mechanics wheel and we'll have the title as well. All right, spinning the wheel. Okay, engine building. 1 more minute. Here we go. Okay. Here's what I got. So you're all playing different characters in a dream. The person who is asleep has entered the dream and your goal is to keep them there. You want to keep them captive. And so it's sort of flipping it. Instead of you being Alice trying to get out of the dream, you are like the characters in the dream world trying to keep the person there. And so where engine building would come into it, I think it would be kind of like in Everdell where you're trying to get these different characters that will give you different things. So maybe you're not just one character in the dream world, you can collect different types of characters and then they will give you different powers and different resources. Every time something else happens, they would get you something. And I'm not quite sure what the resource would be in this game, but I'm thinking it would be something like memories or some kind of currency that is generated while this person is dreaming. And it's not necessarily a bad thing that they're held captive in this dream world. Like, I don't think you're villains or anything. You want to make this dream world as wonderful as possible so that they wouldn't want to leave. Maybe delight is the resource or something like that. And so you're trying to collect as much delight to delight the person sleeping as much as possible so that they would decide to stay in the dream and not wake up. So maybe that's your goal. That's what I got. What did you get for that one? Let's try another one. 5 again. The Bridges of the Secrets. And we're going to get our mechanic. Bag building, Bridges of Secrets. 1 minute. Let's go. Okay, so my idea was everyone is playing trolls guarding bridges, and you are trying to attract different travelers to cross your bridge. But if they cross your bridge, they have to tell you a secret. And so if they tell you a secret, you can add something to your bag. So everyone has a bag, and I want to say they all start with rocks. So you just have a bag of rocks. They're of no value. But when a traveler tells you a secret, you can put in a special cube into your bag, and maybe depending on like how good the secret is, you can maybe put in 3 secret tokens into your bag. And so I'm not exactly sure how you would try to attract the travelers to your bridge. So I'm not quite sure, but I'm thinking that there will be some sort of open market of the different travelers and somehow you try to get them to come to your bridge. Once all the travelers have crossed the bridges, all the trolls take their bags and one at a time they draw a cube from their bag, and the rocks and the secrets are exactly the same texture, same size, same shape. So you don't know what you're pulling from the bag. So at the same time, all the trolls pull something from their bag. If they pull a secret, they win. If they pull a rock, but everyone else pulled a rock, then you keep going. So the first troll to pull a secret. 2 trolls pull out a secret at the same time, then just the 2 of them keep going, drawing from their bags until just one of them pulls a secret, the other one pulls a rock. That's what I got for that one. Please let me know what you came up for that one. That was a cool title. Now that we're a bit warmed up, let's keep this going. 4, the Guardian's Legend. So let's get our mechanic. The Guardian's Legend deck building. Let's go. Okay, so everyone is a guardian guarding different jewels, and the jewels are represented by cards, a deck of cards sitting in front of each player. And so there will be an open market of cards that you can take on your turn, similar to Dominion. And so you start with some basic cards, and then on your turn you're going to take one of the cards from the middle of the play area, and they will be different resources or different powers and things like that. But you are ultimately trying to get the resources you would need to pay to get past another guardian and steal one of their jewels. And so each guardian's jewels will have a different specific resources or things that you would need to pay to get past the guardian to steal their jewel. And so that would be listed on the jewel card. So you either take a card or play cards on your turn. If you take a card, you put it into your discard pile. And once you have played all the cards from your deck, you would then shuffle and draw again, just like the standard deck building game. And then if you are able to have the set of resources you would need to steal another guardian's jewel, you then play those cards, take their jewel card. Maybe it would go into your deck and it maybe have a power. That could be cool. Or maybe it just stays in front of you to show your collection. And so once any guardian's stack of jewel cards have been depleted, the game is over and everyone counts up how many jewel cards they stole from the other guardians. And that would be the winner. That sounds pretty cool. I like that one. This is fun. I hope you're having fun playing along. I love doing these challenges. I think they're super fun, especially when you've been working on a game for so long and like specific games for so long. It's just so nice to think of new ideas. Even if you don't do anything with them, just thinking of the new ideas, getting the juices flowing and just like working out the creative muscles. It's so much fun. So I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Let's get another title. Rolling the die. It's a 4. The Winter's Dragon. Ooh, I'm excited about this one. Let's get our mechanic. Cool. I don't think I've spun multi-use cards before, so I'm excited about this. Winter's Dragon multi-use cards. Here we go. So this would be a cooperative game. You're playing villagers. It's always winter at this village, and so everything is made out of ice. But a dragon sometimes comes to attack their village, and their fire melts their village because everything is made of ice. So the game is you are trying to defend your ice village against the dragon. So you're going to be using cards, but each card can be used in 4 different ways. You could attack the dragon. You could use the card to rebuild, to fix the damage that the dragon has done to your village. You can feed the villagers, or you can clothe the villagers. Those are the 4 things I came up with. And the reason I picked 4 is just because a card has 4 sides. And so depending on which side you place up or whatever, that is the action that your card will be taking. And so you have to decide. And each card wouldn't be exactly the same. You know, one card would deal more damage to the dragon. So maybe you'll play that card like that. But maybe it also could feed a lot more people. So which choice do you make? If you choose to use a very powerful attack against the dragon, maybe then something bad would happen to somewhere else because you're out attacking the dragon. It does deal a lot of damage to the dragon, but you weren't doing other things, so maybe some other bad things happen, like the villager's health goes down by 2. You attack the dragon by 5, but the health goes down by 2. Something like that. It needs to have a balance there, because if it's just straight up super powerful, it would be a clear decision. But now you need to decide, is it worth the negative effect it would have happen if you decide to do that very powerful thing? So then it'd be a cooperative game where the villagers have to defeat the dragon before the dragon destroys their ice village. I'm super interested to see what you guys come up with these titles. Let's do another one. 2, The Lost Way. Okay. So it's auction/bidding the lost way. Here we go. Okay, what I came up with was a bunch of people are lost in the woods maybe, but it's an enchanted woods. And so there are all these different creatures roaming around who might be able to help you find your way out of the woods. But it's everyone for themselves. You're not helping each other trying to get out. You are just trying to get out yourself. And so there are all these different creatures, and you have to pay them in like nuts or something. Maybe they're all squirrels or something like that, but there's some sort of payment you have to pay to try to get these creatures to help you find your way out. And so there's all these different cards of different creatures on the table. Maybe just each time 3 creatures are turned over. So you just have 3 cards to work with. Maybe there's like, here's the probability that they'll actually help you find your way out. And so then everyone has their nuts or whatever's the currency in the game. And so one at a time, each player would place a nut, or let's just say gold, just for the sake of, because I don't know if they're all squirrels. So you would place one of your colored gold or money or whatever on the creature that you would want to turn the card over to hopefully get some information about how to get out. And so it would go around a few times, and people would need to continue to keep bidding, or they can say, I'm out. And then whoever bid the most for each creature can then take that card, look at it, read it. Hopefully they'll get some information about how to get out. And then whoever bid the most for the other 2 cards, it's the same thing. If there's ever a tie, no one gets to look at the card. And so those creatures kind of go off to the side, and 3 new creatures are turned over. Another bidding round happens. And so these creatures will either give you information about how to find your way out. And so I don't know if everyone maybe has a map and you're trying to figure out your path, and maybe each creature will tell you a different section of the path, like around this tree, you need to turn right or something like that. But some creatures might just give you money because, if you're spending your money, you need to somehow get it back. Or maybe some creature will give you a power, like every time this kind of creature turns up, you get money, something like that. So then whoever figures out the path to get out first wins. And so you're basically bidding on the different creatures who will hopefully give you information about how to get out, but it's only whoever bids the most will get to turn over the card and read it. And then it would go off to the side, so that when new cards are turned over, you can either bid on those or bid on the ones that have already been looked at. But so then there might be a little bit of bluffing there. So if you turn over a card and it actually doesn't give you any information, you can make it seem like it gave you a lot of information and try to throw people off and get people to waste their money on that card. Auction/bidding is not my favorite mechanic, but it's always good to think up games with mechanics that you don't usually like, but that was cool. 6. Wizards in the Silence. Wizards in the Silence with tile placement. Let's go. Okay, so everyone's playing different wizards, and there's no talking in this game. Although, to be honest, I don't really see how that matters. I didn't really lean into the silence part. So it would be a similar sort of gameplay to Carcassonne, where you are drawing a tile, placing a tile, but each tile would have a different symbol on it, like maybe a certain tree or a certain herb or a certain element or something like that. And so if you are able to place a tile with some sort of symbol on it next to another symbol that your wizard can do something with. So maybe your wizard specializes in fire and a special herb. If the fire and that herb, if they're next to each other, then you can do one of your spells. So that spell could either maybe inflict damage on the other wizards, or maybe it allows you to search through the tiles to choose one, or some sort of power, maybe like a one-time power or an ongoing power, or damage the other wizards. That's what I came up with. All right, I think I'm going to end it there. I think we did about 6 game ideas in not that long of time, so that was a very fun exercise. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I hope you consider liking and subscribing. And as always, I want to thank my awesome members. Thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. You can click on the join button below if you want to join my membership group, which will give you access to weekly playtesting sessions, our members-only Discord channel, and I just created a Google Calendar with all different kinds of important dates and events that would be relevant to board game designers that you can access if you're a member as well. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to follow me on social media at Pam Walls Game Design, and I'll see you in the next video.